Hello and welcome back to the Who podcast with my twin. We wear identical
Hello.
clothes.
I'm a fan of Machine Gun Kelly.
And don't we know it? But Will, it's 2023.
It's not. It's 2022.
Stop ruining the magic.
It's 2023.
It's 2023 and this year we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about and some very exciting news. So in this podcast we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. We're going to be talking outside of Doctor Who and things to look forward to for next
Outside
year.
of Doctor Who.
Does that exist?
I don't think it does, Dan.
We're going to be talking about the podcast and about our audio series that is coming up in the near future. Fingers crossed. Nice noise.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks for interrupting me.
You're welcome.
So next year, other than Doctor Who, what are you excited for going into next year?
Outside of Doctor Who, what am I excited for? Dropping out.
Uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I'll tell you what I'm excited for while you're thinking about it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, we're talking still pop culture stuff, not
Yeah,
going on our lives.
Not in
Right.
our lives.
Okay.
What do you think this podcast's about, Will?
Okay. No. Okay. Right.
So I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think it's going to be really emotional. I think it's going to be a big...
Do you think
end
it's
to the
going to hit a
Guardians
billion
character.
in the box office?
Yeah. I think Guardians definitely can.
Do you think Ant-Man and the Wasp will? I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
I'm not bothered about seeing it.
I'm interested based on where the series goes, but in terms of the film itself, not that much.
No.
I
I think it's a bit of a stupid film to introduce the big bad villain Kang in as well.
But originally, it didn't exist at all. There was not going to be an Ant-Man 3.
Well,
And they decided to make one.
should have said the same.
So hopefully, there's a reason behind it. They haven't just gone, how do we introduce Kang?
So
Ant-Man.
apart from Doctor Who, is there anything big coming out in Doctor Who in 2023?
So we got, well, for me personally, Loki season 2, which is something I'm sort of big into.
Okay.
But there's also, from a games perspective, quite a lot.
Okay,
coming
if we're
out.
talking games.
Yeah. So, shall I say mine? So obviously, start off with Star Wars, shall we?
Jedi Survivor.
Fallen Survivor.
Fallen Survivor.
I haven't played the first game.
You haven't played the first
I haven't
game?
played the first game. I know. So there's a few games I want to play that I haven't played. So Last of Us.
My favourite thing is sorry, just ignore you there, Dan. You're not important. The most thing I'm looking forward to next year is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Although
also,
I feel like it might flop because it's not gonna live. It's not gonna live up to the first one.
but
The first one was a little underrated Spider-Man movie no one knew about, and now we all love it.
And
And
now
I feel like it's.
and now in a
it's-
post No Way Home world, what is like?
What is
what's
it? What is the multiverse?
If the MCU are doing the multiverse as well?
Sony Animations. They've got to outdo the
They have
MCU
to do it,
multiverse,
yeah.
and I think it's just gonna go because we've seen the PS4 Spider-Man's in the fucking
He is,
trailer.
he is.
It looks a bit like wow, but that's too many Spider-Mans.
I don't mind, to be fair.
We all love a Spider-Man. Is the Spider-Man game coming out?
The concern is that they focus too much on the different Spider-Men and not on actually telling the story, because we've got is it Prowler? Who's doing? No, it's not Prowler. Who's doing the? It's a different version of Spider-Man. Oscar Isaac's playing the bad guy. What's his name? Growler. I don't know.
Growler.
Spider-Man 2049 or something.
Growler.
2099, something like that.
The baddie is Spider-Man.
Prowler. I mean, no, I was making a joke there, Will.
What?
Because I was like, he's not called Prowler. What's he called? Growler.
No, it's not called Growler.
No, he's called. I think he's called Spider-Man 1999. Or 2099.
2099. 2199? 20,
Something like that.
20...
Played by
20.
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'd like to see where that
Hayley
goes.
Steinfeld, she's Gwen Stacy.
She is.
She's on my smash list.
She's on the hit list.
She's on my smash list.
Smash list. Okay, excellent. Thanks for that. We all needed that.
You're welcome.
David
Tennant, top one.
Tennant, Hedy Steinfeld. Well, we're slowly painting a picture. Hopefully during this year we can paint the picture of who else you've got on this list.
Oh, we will.
Grand. I'm glad that that's a member, part of our content.
David Tennant, Hayley Steinfeld, Dan Johnson. He's my favourite YouTuber.
Right.
Joking, I want to smash your back doors in. What's coming up in 2023, Dan?
So in 2023 we've got a Jedi game. We've got a Spider-Man game.
That's only going the Spider-Man's only going PS5 though.
Have I got to get a PS5 next year?
Yeah, it's only going PS5. I mean, Google it. I'll make sure.
I think
but
I think
I'm
you are
pretty
right,
sure it's
though. I
only going
think it is only
PS5.
PS5.
'Cause it's called Spider-Man PS5 as well. I'm not happy about this because not a lot of people have a PS5. They're still not selling.
I'm upset. That has ruined my year.
Well, Spider-Man was right. You've only got 2 weeks left of this one.
That's not drama student here who doesn't understand the concept of posting of pre-recording things.
Spider-Man 2 will be launched exclusively on PS5.
Oh, I've got to buy a bleeding PS5 then, haven't I?
Sadly.
For next year.
Yep.
I better get saving.
Yep.
Got a year to buy a PS5.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that's annoying.
Can I transfer my Lego voucher into real money and then buy a PS5?
You can just what Lego are you
got
going to buy
£100
next
Lego.
year? Because obviously
Well, I'm obsessed with my Lego at the moment.
you are, yeah.
I've recently built the X-Wing. I've recently built there's a little Lidl set I got in Lidl. It was like a Harry Potter one, and it was like this class
Right.
that could turn into a book, so you could
I
hide
think I've
it.
seen, yeah,
Yeah,
this
they're quite cool. They are quite shitty, but they're quite cool. But I've got the Christmas office set on the way for Christmas.
That's the big one. Isn't it?
That's the big
I
one.
mean, it's post Christmas now, but we've ruined the illusion anyway, so we'll keep going with it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
It's already built.
he's built it. No, how long do you think it's going to take for you to build it? Do you reckon?
I reckon a day.
It's not massive, is it?
No, I
Really?
reckon a day.
There's a lot of minifigures in it. Which
A
I
lot of
think is
minifigures,
decent.
a lot of stickers, so I'm not looking forward to that. I'll get James to do the stickers because he likes the sticker in.
Have you got anything big that you're after next year concerning Lego?
The Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon.
Everyone wants a Millennium Falcon.
I have to say, me and my dad have joked about buying a Millennium Falcon for years,
Everyone wants a Millennium Falcon.
but we would never do it.
Why not?
Because it's
Everyone
really
wants a
expensive.
Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, you're just insane enough to do it.
Yes.
So you're gonna buy a Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
You're gonna build it. Then what are you gonna do it? Where are you gonna store it?
I'll probably.
Break it down into pieces again,
Yeah.
and then
Rebuild it. All the fun starts again.
Or right, okay, Grant.
Silly man.
So 2023 looks like a fun year of building for you, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But do you know what else happens in 2023?
I move into my own house.
You will actually have to move into your own house, yeah. But do you know what else happens in 2023?
I get a studio apartment.
Do you know what else happens in 2023?
Doctor Who!
Doctor Who comes back to our screens.
Doctor Who comes back to our screens.
So it's the 60th anniversary as well. So there's a lot of elements to talk
Yes.
about here. But let's talk about David Tennant first.
Oh, can we? God, he's.
So we don't really know much about this special,
No.
do we? Really, we know that we've got the cholesterol toy maker played by
The
Neil
what?
Patrick-
The
cholesterol toy maker.
The what?
Cholesterol toy maker.
cholesterol.
Oh damn it!
Cholesterol. Ladies and gentlemen, the cholesterol.
He's got high cholesterol. The doctor's got high cholesterol, hence why he regenerated
Celestial.
The celestial.
Thank you.
Celestial toy maker.
Cholesterol.
Not cholesterol. Yeah, he's gonna help with the doctor's
Stop your
indigestion.
metabolism.
Yeah. He's gonna help the doctor out with his
Yeah,
indigestion
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So yeah. But
Cholesterol toy maker.
But-
Celestial.
Celestial. So we've got that. We've got David Tennant. We've got Donna. We've got Rose, Donna's daughter. We've got Wilf. But then,
Oh no, Wilf.
well, yeah, I was gonna say.
We lost a lot of
we've got
legends in
Wilf.
2022.
But he's in this episode. That's something I'm actually quite looking forward to.
They can't cut him.
I hope they don't cut him.
They can't cut him.
I presume he's finished.
I don't think he had.
Oh, maybe they
They
will
were
then.
still filming.
They were still filming, but I don't know whether because I know they think that they knew his health was declining, so maybe they just rewrote it so that he wasn't in it.
Do you reckon he's dead in universe?
I think that would be far too heartbreaking.
That would be far too
I
heartbreaking.
wouldn't want them.
It should
to,
be like
to
Bridge
actively
Brigadier
do
Death
that.
Bridge Stewart, where it happens. It's announced like a couple of years later through just a phone call or
yeah,
something.
and it made the Doctor change in that moment, didn't it?
Did it?
There was a reason behind it. It did. I think it was Husbands of River Song or something like that. Name the Doctor, one or the other.
No, it wasn't. It was Matt Smith who gets the phone call.
No, yeah, it's a Matt Smith episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he gets the phone call, and it's sort of at that moment when I think he's lost Amy. And it's yeah.
No, 'cause he's in the coat
Oh no, he can't be, can he? It's so 6.
after God Complex, isn't it?
It's after closing time. Series 6. It's just before Husbands of River Song. Not Husbands. Wedding.
Wedding. This is why it's getting me confused.
But I think it is after. I think it is Series 6. But I'd hate that if they did that. It'd be awful. Because it would be it's like almost too soon to it. And then I don't know whether such a hit of realism within it and a parallel to real life.
I mean, they're going to devote the episode
would be
to him,
quite
so
upset.
that's...
Yeah, I imagine that will happen. But I mean, that's bound to happen. In fact, but I wouldn't want them to kill him off because it's like the Sarah Jane thing. They kept Sarah Jane alive.
It's canon now.
But the thing with that is that she had at the funeral, but there's that thing that Rani says that she imagined that the doctor just came and picked her up and took her away. So she actually, I think it's rumored to be like the creator that takes her, so that the creator comes and gets her and travels with her.
Possibly.
And I was like, that is a nice little ending because that's an ending that solidifies her in universe as not being there anymore. But there's that dream aspect that they get to live on further past the show.
Fair enough.
And I was like, that is cool.
Fair enough.
But we have obviously the Will stuff, which I hope they keep it. But there's a lot of other things to look forward to in the 60th anniversary.
There are.
I don't think it just contains
David's costume. Sorry, I know we spoke about sport. David's costume is cooler than his previous one.
I do like the costume. Yeah, I like that outfit. I liked David's outfit anyway, but I think this one's
better.
Cool. This one's cool. Yeah, it suits him nicely.
Yeah,
just the general look of this one, it gives me a good vibe.
Yeah,
to be honest,
quite...
it's a shame that he's not in it very much. Like
3 episodes,
because he's doing like 3 episodes. But I think if he did any longer, it'd be like, who's this next guy? I don't know. He just becomes like a point doctor rather than a.
I'd like a multi-doctor story of the 14th Doctor and the 10th Doctor. I think that would be quite cool.
I'm sure that's in production somewhere in Big Finish because they'll go, that's super easy to do.
How
just
can
get him in
it
twice.
be infinite? How can it be in production? How is David Tennant going to go, hello, I'm the Doctor. Oh, you're joking, I'm also the Doctor. He's going to sound like he's absolute insane.
I wonder if the personality is going to be different or not. Because here's what I'm wondering, right? If this is the 14th Doctor, then we've got the 14th Doctor with the 10th Doctor's companion.
Yeah. But still looks like the 10th Doctor. So,
but it still looks like the 10th Doctor.
That's really how Donna can
here?
work her way around it. Because he says, if she ever remembers me.
But then she'd remember all the aliens and stuff. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So either way, it doesn't quite work.
It doesn't work.
But I'm interested to see where that explanation comes from.
Well, we've got 9 months to wait.
We've got a very, very long time now.
I hope we get something.
It's longer than it's 11.
Oh fuck!
So it's November, isn't it?
11.
Well, it's believed to be November.
They've got to have something before November.
I know. I think that because here's the interesting thing because it goes past just this year. Because I know that we're going to have to wait. Well, at the time it was like 11 months or 13 months, I think, to the next bit of Doctor Who. But the thing was that Russell has said once we hit that point, Doctor Who should be fairly frequent.
Annual Doctor Who again.
Almost, yeah. And there's other plans to do other things than just Doctor Who. So it's not just it's like in 2016 when I think it was Husbands of River Song, sort of they just did specials, didn't they? So they did Husbands of River Song and they did Return of Doctor Mysterio.
Yeah.
And within that time they did Class.
It was...
But whatever the content and how good that was, it meant that there was something there that sort of bridged the gap a little bit. So there was something Whoniverse within this time. And I think something like that would mean that you don't need to do Doctor Who the show every year. You can do something else instead.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
And then it's less pressure on Shooty to do a series every year, and for them to write a series every year, and then they can do a series every like 2 or 3 years, and then have other things coming out.
I mean, especially if he's got, if he's like comes one of the fan favorites from Barbie, then a lot of Hollywood things are also going to want him as well, aren't they?
Yeah, he's going to be a very busy actor.
He is.
Doctor Who's about a 9-month shoot in it.
Did he say he was a fan of Doctor Who?
I don't remember. I think yes. I think he said he'd watched it. I think because they always get asked the same questions, don't they? They go, "Who's your favourite Doctor?" And I think he said like Eccleston or something. So because he was born in the wilderness years, wasn't he? So.
Yes.
But they're just sort of questions that they're giving him a bit of PR, basically. If he hasn't seen it himself already.
Yeah.
But next year, of course, is the 60th anniversary. The big year And I know this doesn't really matter to you very much, but for
Okay.
me,
Okay.
Big Finish has got a very big series coming next year.
What's the Big Finish series?
So it was announced on Doctor Who Day
Doctor Who Day
last
this
year, and it said that there is like a 9 Doctor thing spanning the year, and I think even into 2022, but that may be a mistake.
2023.
No, it goes into 2024. I mean, not 23. I mean, I didn't mean 2 anyway, but it goes into 2024.
Oh my god.
So you're getting but you've got Tom Baker, you got Peter Davison, Colin Baker,
Right.
Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann,
Is a
Christopher
question.
Eccleston, David Tennant, David Bradley.
Here's a question. How long has Tom Baker got?
But here's the issue. I think I've told you this before. But so Tom Baker does maybe 2 or 3 releases a year. I think his work differently than others. And so he does like volumes, right? And they've been doing them for years. But it means that he's got the most recorded of any other Doctor.
Right.
So God
they're,
forbid.
they're all wary.
So God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was to leave us, then we would have Tom Baker for another couple of years, and maybe even this would be quite amazing if they did this, if they planned this far ahead, because it would be quite a morbid thing to film. They'd give him the adventure that they know is his last adventure to be released. So there's this big, extravagant story for him, and even if he does more beyond that, he knows that this will be his final outing as the Doctor. But next year has got this sort of series with like 9 or 10 Doctors, and that is what I'm really looking forward to.
Wow, that sounds absolutely extraordinary, Dan.
60
I can't wait to spend 200 quid on audios.
It's not. I don't think. I think it's about 70 quid, something like that. For about 12. It's not bad.
Fair enough.
I might be wrong actually. I don't think it might be a bit more than that.
Yeah, it's probably a bit
It's probably
more.
about 750.
Yeah.
but
More like it.
because they are expensive items.
Yeah, very
but yeah.
expensive, yeah.
But I love them. I love them. And I think that when these things come out, I think they're going to be.
Are we going to get some TikTok reviews?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like. But I'm just looking forward to the whole event of next year, and I hope that it can live up to last year's sort of.
I
mess.
think just seeing David back is enough for me. Having good Doctor Who back, having RTD back, having hope for the future
Yeah,
is
it's a nice
enough.
hopeful time in
It's
it.
a hopeful time.
And I'm hoping for a big rejuvenation in the show's sort of public appeal, because since Capaldi, really, it's gone down. Hasn't it?
Since Smith, mate, a lot of people stopped watching.
A lot of late
Capaldi.
Smith actually kind of went, because the plots became very confusing during like Series 6 and Series 7.
Yep.
So people sort of dipped out then,
Yep.
then dipped out even more during Capaldi,
Mm-hmm.
and then some came back, but then obviously some left.
Because it was rubbish.
Because the story wasn't always there. So then I hope that this can kind of bring people back, and I think that the way that this show's going so far, and what I feel like how they can deal with it and what they're promising, it will be a lot better. And I'm interested about the Disney Plus stuff and whether that makes a bigger audience and at the bigger budgets and stuff like. Because some people even said that they don't want the show to have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
They want it to be like a confined sci-fi show. Like, I kind of get what you mean because of its humble beginnings and everything.
Yeah. But, Russell is never going to...
But how can it compete with big shows like Andor if it doesn't have the money?
Why are you obsessed with Andor right now?
It's just in my head.
Right. We have other news coming up in
I was gonna
2023.
say, but we have other things because
Because Doctor Who's happening, but so's also our Doctor Who.
our Doctor Who.
Our Doctor Who.
Well, I hope
The
it's-
Doctor announcement.
I think it's already been announced. It's definitely already been announced. But we keep your fingers crossed because
Oh my god.
we need to finish it. So by the time you're seeing this, by the time you're seeing this,
I like Francis. Here we have the Class 747 train, shortly to arrive.
oh my goodness, you do. Yeah, there's something about your face. Actually, I haven't seen you without glasses in a very long time. You look a bit like a rat.
You bastard.
But no, fingers crossed because we need to finish it. Audio series,
Yeah.
will be out next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully all of it,
Oh,
but there's still like
episode 1 will be.
episode 1 will be done, and
Hopefully, at least by March, I reckon, episode 1.
episode 1 will be done. But I don't want to put them out as like episode 1 7-year gap, episode 2 You know, I want to keep them in fairly.
Yeah, no,
close
no.
proximity.
And when they come out, guys, just share it as much as you can, man.
We'll do a podcast talking about like
Yeah,
the
we
actual
will.
production of it, because at the minute, I want
You
keep
put a
things-
lot into it, man.
Yes.
And
So I've got a spreadsheet of scenes that are done and scenes that are not done, and then I go back and do notes
I'm just here for
on
the ride.
scenes, and I send them to you, and you sort of ignore them.
yeah, because I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Do you ever listen to them? I've sent you. I think I sent you the first scene of episode 1.
Yeah, was that the Snapchat one you sent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I've sent
was
you
like-
most of the scenes.
I was on the bus to work going, it's all right. I want to record my lines. Do you remember I said that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was.
thank you. Less of this.
That's why I got a re-record. 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
I'm really happy with them so far. Episode 3. By the time that this goes out, it'll be done. I'm sort of down into it a bit more than I was before. Like it's started. You'd edit like a scene, maybe once every couple of weeks. But now I'm doing like 2 or 3 a week.
Bloody hell. He's into it.
And I wasn't doing it from like scratch. I'm just going over like reviewing.
Yeah.
So episode 3 will be done. Episode 1 will be in production fully. We'll have all the lines, which we now do for episode 1. So episode 1 should be finished like March time, and then we have episode 2, which is sort of the biggest of the lot. No, I'm really excited for it. To be fair, it's a project that we've had cooking for about 2 years currently. 3.
Lockdown started.
Lockdown, yeah, and then we kind of wrote it,
Yeah.
and writing it took many months.
Writing the first one took
It took you maybe 2 to 3
2-3 months.
and then I was
for
writing
one
episode 2 at that
script.
time.
And then
Episode 2 took me about 6 months, and then I spent another like 8 months on episode 3, and then we had our scripts, and then obviously we had the casting and trying to get people, because it's a very
it's
difficult.
so
thing
difficult
to do.
trying to get people.
It is because
Because you feel weird going up to the, do you want to be in our audio drama? Especially if they're part of the Doctor Who YouTube world. That's one thing I'm glad I'm not.
yeah, because you even though you feel like you know them, there's an aspect of like you're asking them a huge.
And
favour
also, the
here.
Doctor Who YouTube world, it's quite a small world. So how many times have they been asked by another YouTuber, do you want to do this? Do you want to come on my podcast? Do you want to do this? It's like... Speaking of coming on podcasts, have we got any
I was
guests?
going to say we can make a nice little transition into that.
I
was going to go way smoother than what you did, but you went right for it.
Go on,
but
you
yeah.
do your segue.
But that's it. Doctor Who, the audio adventures made by us.
Us two.
Hopefully next year.
New Big Finish writers coming soon.
What? In part, hopefully
Hopefully next year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
If there's
If
enough
they're-
lines. If they're finished.
If we're happy with them.
If we have to move around episode 3 and 2 and move that one into that scene. I've got a list of about 10
And we need to
scenes
write
that
part
have
2 of the whole series as
and
well.
then we have the
And
second
then
half
another,
to write,
another part of the
and
series
to
to write
edit,
as well.
and then to film,
And
and
then,
then to cast, and
So
but,
another 2-year wait.
yeah, on top of. But I'm focusing on the 3. We're
Yes.
focused on the 3.
3 for now.
3, and I'm really happy with them. So
I'm really happy with
looking
them.
forward for people.
I feel
to
like
actually listen to them.
for a team, we don't have it. It's literally just me and
For
you.
a team of 2, and me doing all the editing. You've got one scene, and how long is it taking you to do that scene, Will?
Do you know what it is?
The TARDIS
It's when
scene,
I'm at uni.
yours.
If I reckon it's because I'm living with someone. If I was living on my own,
Because you feel like you can't do it because then you're sitting there with the laptop just going, I'm a flipping nerd, alright?
Yeah.
I'm so nerdy.
so like now, now I'm home. I'll probably get scene 1 done within 2 nights.
That's fine.
Because that's what you'd like to hear.
No, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Because I'm at home and I've got no one else interrupting me or like wanting to play Xbox as well. But like when I'm living with someone, it's like, oh, I can't really do this. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, you would want to crack on with things.
And that's why I said, oh, I'll do it because I was at uni living by myself at the first time.
We don't just have the audio series to do. We've got a whole bunch of other projects to do as well, don't we, Will? We've got a podcast.
We are. Fuck. Yes, we have a podcast.
We have this thing here. We've got this podcast. Yeah, but that's going to need some work next year. So,
Yeah.
the big one is, of course, that we want some more guests.
Want some
So
more
I've got a lot
guests.
of messages to send to people.
Okay.
We've got some more commentaries. We've got some more guests. You're going to be making more appearances.
I am pretty much full time.
Full time.
Apart from the commentaries.
Apart from the commentaries, are like 3 a year. Maybe we can do like a special talking about the 60th
Oh,
anniversary.
we
ones.
will. We will.
I've got a big
We
got a big
will.
list. We've got a plan, haven't we, for next
We
year?
will.
in many respects.
We will. After every single episode, we're doing a special.
We've got a lot of things to discuss and to sort of plan, but hopefully we can get some really good podcast episodes out of next year.
And some audio dramas out as well.
And some audio dramas out as well, among with some other things.
Some other things.
But anyway, we're at the end.
We are at the end. Have I got to do this again?
Yes. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the podcast. If you did, you can check out all of our podcast episodes and the show on various other platforms, including
Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Who Chaser, Who Addicts, Pod Addict, sorry. Who Chaser. No, Who Chaser's up a channel.
It is. You mean Podchaser?
Podchaser, Pod Addict,
Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts.
You always forget that one.
I always do.
But
you
don't need.
You
to.
don't need to.
This is not a Zoom meeting, Will. Like I'm sitting next to you. You don't need to.
But you don't need to. Dan, I think you're a bit buffering.
I think you're buffering. Will.
You're buffering, mate. I think what? Should we turn off the camera and do audio?
Yeah.
I think wait for the Wi-Fi to catch up.
Yeah.
But you don't need to remember all them listening and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Pod Addict, Google iHeartRadio, Google Podcast.
Yeah.
You just click them in the link tree down below, and we're available on all your favourite listening platforms.
Even the ones you don't like.
Any ones you don't like.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.
That can't be it. No. So it's like. Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Leave my screen alone. So, thank you very much for listening. We've got a lot of exciting stuff in next year, so if you haven't already, I suggest you subscribe. Well, I can see you're going for the pause button to cut me off, alright?
No.
So I'm going to end it quickly. Thank you very much. Goodbye.